Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. The slay range aspect of the body game. Now, the past few days, I've been talking about the more cerebral aspects a man needs to have, but the body game is still the foundation because I don't care how cerebral you got to have the vehicle, the horse to ride to get to where you're going. I mean, you could have a great idea about business or being dominant or sovereign, but you got to physically be able to do it. And plus, in this day of the coronavirus, a big weapon against it, and like they're working on vaccines, but a big weapon is just have some immunity. Most of the people getting it had pre-existing conditions. This is very, very key. Most of the people working on it had pre-existing conditions, and that is something that they had to deal with. So all of that's important for the body game, right? But let's get back just to the man gets woman part of it. So what is the slay range? The slay range is your optimal body that attracts women who are within your tribe. See, understand on a deep level, in your very DNA, there's a program that has it so you are be able to optimally reproduce. There's a body build that a man will have. There's a body build that a woman will have. And because of that DNA matchup, there's certain, like every man, there's going to be a certain group of women built a certain way that's going to find him optimally attractive, even magnetic. And this is the reason, and this is one of the reasons why, as an aside, I don't get caught up in that like measurements and face and all of that. It's nothing that's universal. Because it comes down to DNA and everybody don't have it. It's just like some men will draw like those slim, like those slim women. Some men will draw those women with the big breasts, or then some other men will draw the pear-shaped women. They will draw different body types, and it's based on DNA. And the slay range is basically where your body is at that's optimally magnetic to a woman. I mean, she can't even help herself. But it'll be specifically the women in your tribe. See, here's the thing. You can have like that real handsome face and killer body and everything, right? And then, yes, you will get some women who can look at you and say, oh, he's very handsome, but they don't get excited. Then you get some other women who are more of a DNA match for you, who will be like, oh, you magnetic. They can't help themselves when they're around you. And it's the same thing with men. Every man probably has some type of woman built a certain way that has nothing to do with what the culture promotes as optimally attract. Nothing at all. Where they just go crazy over. They can't help themselves. They can try, but every single man has it. Every single woman has it. And your slay range is when you're at your optimal thing. It's actually the best thing you can to do to get mate, because it's a woman subliminally. She can't help herself. She's just like, she got to be with you, right? Now, she can fight it because, of course, you got culture, religion, social mores, whatever, social class that tries to prevent it, but sometimes it can even cut through all of that. So that's why I would say when I talk about the body game, I tell everybody get in their best shape. You don't have to, if you look at body types, right? You got ectomorphic, mesomorphic, and endomorphic. Like an ectomorph, to draw their optimal women, does not have to be an endomorph. He don't have to be one. He just has to be his best shape, and then find the women, pay attention to the women who find that attractive, who show a natural interest in it. With the mesomorph, he don't have to be an endomorph or an ectomorph. He don't have to lose weight or anything. He just has to be at his best thing. He's going to draw the women who like that, right? And so forth with the endomorph. Now, a lot of times in this society, I'm gonna be real, a big enemy of relationships in this society, and one of the reasons I believe, now I haven't had a chance to formally do any research because it would take a lot. It would take some major research. But a theory I have, this is just a theory at this point, A theory I have, and I'm emphasizing the word theory, is that a lot of relationships are getting worse because, especially in Western culture, because we're putting on weight. We're not in our slay range. Most people ain't in their slay range. I mean, even ectomorphs are putting on weight. It just comes off a little different, and I think that's a big issue. And definitely, men and women. The obesity rate, the overweight rates in this culture are big. In fact, I saw like a map. It was like, and one of those things that got the different colors and everything to show certain percentages. The overweight obesity rate in at least the United States has increased substantially since the 90s. Consequently, relationships have gone down since the 90s. But not that many men or women are in their slay range. Not that many men and women are in their slay range. In fact, when I was younger, yeah, relationships were better, but you didn't have 300-pound football players, or you didn't have women talking about they large and in charge, or whatever they say. Everybody, you didn't have what you had in the foods that you have nowadays. Like these foods out here are really doing a number on people. We have more natural foods, people exercise more, everything, and the relationships were better. All of a sudden, we're getting bigger. We eating fast foods more. We getting all these, putting all this weight on ourselves. And then, we not meeting people who are having trouble and they can't figure it out. They think it's just a personality thing. So I'm going to tell you how powerful that DNA thing is, that magnetism thing. Like when you in your slay range, when the slay range is the optimal body you have based on your DNA programming, because that's the main thing with all living beings, all living things wants to reproduce themselves. It's in your DNA to reproduce yourself. And it has the men have an optimal body build which will arouse a woman. Women have an optimal body build which will draw a man to her. But when people are not at that body build or that optimal thing, it gets harder. Or even close to it. A lot of people ain't even close to it. The closer you get to it, people will find they're going to draw a certain type of person, the people who are most attracted to them. It's literally like a magnet. There's actually a metaphysical aspect of it, but I ain't going to get into it here. I might have gotten into it in one of my videos on my on-demand thing. I might have. In fact, I think I did. I can't remember which video, though. Because to be honest with you, that type of knowledge to me is like casual. To me. It ain't like it's deep. But to me, it's not that deep because there's still some other aspects. But that slay range, like a person, and to find out this slay range is easy. When did you attract the most mates to you? For the few ladies that are listening on this channel, when you had that figure 8, were you getting more guys than you did when you had that pregnant look? And then for the men in particular, especially the men on this channel, when you were younger, in better shape, did you attract more women to you? As opposed to where you at? And the beauty of the slay range, it could be in anything. It could be in anything, You could be an ectomorph, that's your slay range. You could be a mesomorph, that can be your slay range. That, endomorph, that could be your slay range. It's just your optimal bodybuilder. You will attract. It'll feel like a magnet, like this person can't stay away from you. And it's very powerful. So always understand that. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Peace and many blessings.